Hi guys! In this video I will talk about 3 common problems that people face when transitioning to a vegan lifestyle. I will also share my solutions. So if you are considering switching to a vegan diet or have recently made the transition, I really hope that this video will help you. When I first transitioned to a vegan diet, I encountered these 3 problems and I didn't know what to do with them. The first problem you face when transitioning to a vegan lifestyle is not understanding what to eat, what is allowed to eat, and not knowing what kind of diet to follow to feel good. So in this video, I won't go into detail about how to do that, but I will give you a general idea. Right now, I consider the most optimal diet to be primarily composed of whole plant-based foods as much as possible, ideally 100%, but of course if you cannot do it 100%, strive for the maximum amount of whole plant-based foods. What does this mean? It means that you consume fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, seaweed and mushrooms. This means that all your dishes are prepared from these products. This also means that you exclude refined sugar from your diet and all vegetable oils. Yes, all oils from your diet. And of course you exclude refined processed products, all those cookies, chocolates and all products containing mysterious flavorings and preservatives. In other words, the idea is whole food, plant-based diet. Of course, it's unlikely you will come to this right away. You just need to understand that in order to feel good in a long run on a plant-based diet, you need to strive for this. That's all. Most likely at first you will use various alternative products like vegan meat substitute and vegan cheeses. I did use them myself for quite a while. However, it's important to understand that all these products are still processed and not considered ideal. While they do help to diversify your diet and can be psychologically helpful in the beginning because of their texture resembling familiar animal-derived products, they are not mandatory in most cases and are not particularly beneficial. Aside from understanding the importance of striving for a whole food plant-based diet for long-term well-being as a vegan, it's crucial to learn how to cook if you eat cooked food or learn how to prepare your raw vegan dishes if you eat 100% raw. For this, I recommend searching for several recipes. There is a ton of information online and in books and all kinds of videos on the internet. However, there is so much information that it easily can get so overwhelming. So at first, I recommend that you choose only a few recipes and do not search for super fancy, super complex recipes because probably you will never make them. Find simple dishes that you can repeat during the first few weeks. Approximately 5 to 8 main dishes. You can watch some of my videos recipes and try experimenting with those recipes. Just set a goal for yourself to actually remember and make them so it's no longer a problem. You can watch some of my videos recipes and try experimenting with these recipes. Just set a goal for yourself to actually remember to make them so it's no longer a problem. If you experience constant hunger or fatigue, make sure you are eating enough and consider taking a vitamin B12 supplement. Avoid experimenting with B12 deficiency, especially if you are a woman and planning to become pregnant. But of course, you have to double check with your doctor and your dietitian before doing any changes. So the second problem is a sense of social isolation and emotional suppression. Because when you realize how things stand with industrial animal farming, and not only with farming but also in other areas where we exploit animals for our own benefit and pleasure, it becomes very difficult to communicate with loved ones and others in general, because you start to see things in a little different way. You start to see suffering where you didn't before, and this feeling of loneliness can be quite heavy. Most likely in your environment there are no people who support you, or maybe there are 1 or 2 people at best. In most cases, people feel isolated. A solution for this issue is the internet, at least. It can be very helpful. Search for public communities online, for Facebook groups, search for YouTubers, and it will support you because you won't feel as alone. Another aspect related to social isolation that I've noticed is that when you first transition to a plant-based diet, you really want to share this information with your loved ones. I started giving very emotional advice, and in many cases it led to arguments and misunderstandings because people are not always ready to change their habits and they hold on to their beliefs. Therefore, I recommend to avoid this tension in relationships and in the beginning not to tell anyone about what you've learned. I know that most likely you'll have a desire to share, but I recommend that you restrain yourself a little and just dedicate the next few months to studying information on this topic. Read everything you can, watch movies. I will leave some links in the description so you can check them out. And this will help you feel more confident in your choice because you will have the necessary information. And if you start emotionally bombarding your loved ones but are not adequately informed yourself, it will only lead to a conflict. I've also noticed that the most effective method is not persuasion, meaning when you start attacking them with facts, people often go into defensive positions. They don't want to hear anything about it at all. But if you simply research this topic yourself and just be an example, perhaps this might get someone interested in this lifestyle. If you have any other questions while transitioning to veganism, feel free to leave me a comment below, and you can click right here to check some of my recipes that help me transition to vegan life.